So the breath this week is called Nadi Shodhana, and that's the Sanskrit name. And Nadi means channel, and Shodhana means purification. So we're purifying the channels in our body. And with this breath, we're really focusing on three major channels. So there's the Ida channel, which is our feminine channel, right? Or our moon channel. There's our Pingala channel, which is our masculine or solar channel. And they cross back and forth up the body. And each time they cross over each other, it's over a major energy center or a chakra in our body. And those run along the spine. All right, so it's like two snakes, like that medical symbol. I never remember the name of it, but it's just like that up the body. And at the top here, at the third eye, is where they cross the last time. So the Ida, the feminine, then connects with the right brain, which looks like my left. And then the masculine connects with the left brain. The third channel that this breath really works on is the central channel, or the Sushumna Nadi. And that channel is the one that runs up and down the spine. So from the crown of the head all the way to your base, your bottom, the end of your spine. And all the chakras, the major chakras, are connected to that channel as well. So even though we're really focusing on those three channels, it's affecting the rest of your energy throughout your body. So I have a list of the things that this breath helps with. Like most pranayam or most breathing techniques, it helps to increase oxygen capacity, oxygenating your blood. But this one specifically is really good at balancing the right and left hemispheres of the brain, right and left lung, right and left nasal passages. It can help in lowering blood pressure. Part of that is because it helps regulate your nervous system or bring it back into balance. It helps to relieve anxiety, stress, and depression. Because it's a purification breath, it's also removing those toxins out of your body. And how you can think of this is whenever we're sort of directing our energy towards purification, only that which we're ready to let go of is what is being purified out, right? So that's why it's always in layers, right? We're never ever ready to let all of it go, but we let what we're prepared to let go of. That's what we let go of. This breath also affects your pineal gland, which is connected to regulating your hormone levels. The other thing, throughout the day, you'll notice your right or left side of your nasal passages will be dominant. So if your left nasal passage is dominant, which means you can breathe more easily in and out of that side, that's your feminine, right? So you're sort of activating that right brain. You're activating that feminine flow in your body. And then if it's the right side, you're activating the left brain and activating that masculine energy. So this breath helps to maintain the sort of rhythm of that switch off. And it happens about every 90 minutes. Okay. So because we're sort of equally focusing on the right and left side, it helps maintain that sort of rhythm of the switch off of the brain and the nostrils and the lungs. Any questions about that? Okay, wonderful. So when we get into the practice, Nadi Shodhana is always done, or another name for it is alternate nostril breathing. It's always done using a mudra, and you always use your right hand. And there's two ways you can really do it. Usually beginners, we say to put the first and second finger on the third eye. And you can do that. You don't have to be a beginner, but it's sometimes nice, especially when we add a visualization to the breath. But the other way to do it is to curl the first two fingers in to the fleshy part of the thumb pad, and then we connect the ring finger and the little finger together. And we always start with closing off the right side of the nose. And you always want to go to that space right underneath the cartilage where you're going to feel like a little notch. And that's where you close your nasal passage off. Okay. And it's the same with the left. On the left side, we use our ring finger. And you just want to find that little notch. The pattern of the breath is we breathe, we inhale in through the left side, out through the right side, in through the right, and then out through the left. And that's one cycle. The breath, when we do this, wants to be soundless. So to make the breath soundless, that means you're really sort of like taking control of the breath, right? You're not pushing it in and out. You're just sort of pulling it in and allowing it out, right? Sort of how I like to think of it, it's almost like if you have a long piece of thread, longer than you're supposed to have when you stitch something up, and it goes in and then out, right? And so there's this smooth quality to the breath, and it just sort of smooths out as you do it. The other thing I will say is if you're newer to this breath, if you're feeling like you're out of breath, you can always stop. Get your breath back to its natural rhythm and start again. And why I believe that happens is just the state of the nervous system, right? We're used to having, especially when we're very stressed, a shorter breath. And when that shorter breath becomes our normal, it can be uncomfortable for some people to slow it down and lengthen the breath, right? Where it can feel like there's not enough oxygen or like I'm ready to breathe in again. Okay. So if you're feeling that, that's okay. Just take a break and you can return back to the pranayam. And then at the end, we'll go into a little meditation as well. Any questions about the breath? And I'll walk us through it, but anything before we start? No? Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to take a drink of water. So let's start. So just making sure your seat is comfortable. And closing your eyes. If you want to turn your video off, you can. And then feeling your shoulders over your hips and your head over your shoulders. Allowing your shoulders to soften down your back. Softening the muscles of your face. Just allow your breath to find its natural pace. And wherever your breath is naturally going in your body, just notice it. Notice where you're experiencing it. And just gently with your mind, scanning the body from the top of your head down your torso to the base of your spine. Scanning up and down. And as you're scanning, you're bringing awareness to those different parts, different areas of your being. And as you scan, just taking note of anything you notice without placing any judgment. We're going to add a breath to this. So gently allow your breath to deepen. Each breath pulling in a bit more air and then releasing that air. And perhaps continuing that scan of the spine, the torso, with the breath. As you inhale, bringing the breath all the way down to the tip of the spine. And as you exhale, bringing your breath, your awareness to the top of your head. Again, just noticing what's there. Let's take one more breath like this. And then we'll do a clearing breath in through the nose, release out of the mouth. And we'll come into our mudra. So either putting your first two fingers on that third eye, that chakra, or curling your first two fingers into the thumb pad. We'll cover that right nostril to breathe in through the left. At the top of your breath, covering the left nostril to breathe out through the right. At the bottom of the exhale, covering the right, breathing in through the right. Covering the right to exhale through the left. Inhaling left. Exhaling right. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. Inhaling left. Exhaling right. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. Continuing on in this pattern. And the timing of your breath. Each breath long and smooth. And soundless. And if you need to take a break, feel free to. And come back when you're ready. We'll do 3 more complete rounds, finishing by exhaling out of the left nostril. And once you've finished your 3 rounds, just releasing your hand, allow your breath to find its natural pace. And allow the effects of the pranayam to keep going. We're going to bring our awareness back to that scan up and down the body, from the top of the head down to the base of the spine. And as you bring your awareness up and down, just notice if there's anything different. Then we'll bring our awareness just to the mind, just to the head. And we'll start with just looking at the right side, the right brain, the feminine side. This side is related to our creativity, our intuition, right? The void, the creative matrix, our ability to surrender and receive. And just keeping your awareness there. And sensing or imagining that you're breathing into that right brain, into that feminine channel. And with each breath, bringing more life force energy into that channel. And gently let that awareness go. And bring your awareness to your left brain, your masculine channel. This is the sun. This is action and strength, organization and strategy. Keeping your awareness there. And begin to sense or imagine your breath moving through your masculine channel. Gently in and gently out. And with each breath, you're bringing more life force energy into that channel. And gently release that awareness. And then once more, scanning up and down from the crown of the head to the base of your spine. Just noticing what's there. And then we'll release that observation. And we'll take a clearing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers, sensing the physical body once again. And opening and closing your eyes a few times, it's integrating your inner world with your outer world. It's coming back into your space.